Hi, my name is David Franklin. I work in the IT department at BWI. I've been here 18 years October. Today we're going to talk about the new wearable computer, the WT41N0. You'll notice it's really similar to the guns that we've used in the past, only it's you wear it on your wrist instead of carry it in your hand. One of the big differences that you'll notice is the keyboard is different than the keyboard you're used to using. It defaults numeric, and you have to press additional keys for the alphabetic keys. Alright, so when you press the keys, it's going to be a number unless you need to do something alphabetic. If you need to do something with an alphabet letter, for instance the letter A, you would press orange 1 to get an A. To get B, gray 1. The function keys are accessed by pressing the blue key. For instance, blue 1 for F1, blue 2 for F2. If you need a function key above F10, you use shift blue 1 for F11, shift blue 2 for F2, and so forth. When you're ready to sign on to the AS400, grab your stylus. You notice there's a slot there for storing it in that's pretty convenient. Use it to use a touchscreen interface. Don't use the pen or a nail or whatever you find that's close by, because it will protect the screen if you use the stylus. Double click on Connect to AS400. If you got a longer name like mine, instead of using the keys on the keyboard and switching orange and gray, which can be confusing, use the on-screen keyboard you see here. I'm going to press enter to get to the logon screen. Tap that keyboard and type in my username and password. P1 is field exit. That'll take me to the next field. You can't see it, but it's on the next field. Tap the keyboard to bring it back up and type in your password. Hopefully John Michael won't zoom in too close on me typing my password, although if he did, you'd see that my password is from a book he recommended we read recently. Alright, so now we're signed into the AS400. You'll notice my screen looks a little bit different. Don't let that put you off. When you're done, you can hide the keyboard just by pressing the keyboard icon. That makes it go up and down. A couple of buttons I want you to be aware of are the P1 and P2 buttons. The P1 button is field exit. So it'll take you to the next field, and if you need, clear the field that you're in if you got some input in there that you want to get rid of. P1 is field exit. P2 is next session. I think on the gun that's like a green dot and a red dot. You just press that button, give it a second, and it'll take you to the other side where you can sign in, or press it again to swap back. When you're scanning product, you want to make sure that you hit the barcode dead center straight across and not at an angle. You'll notice that if you hit it at an angle, you're not going to get a scan, but if you hit it dead on, you'll get that scan every time, and you'll be much quicker and more productive. Sometimes when you're working with a Windows device, things don't go well and you have to reboot. That's a word that you'll hear us say often when you call the help desk, because it works. Now on a gun, instead of rebooting, what you have is a warm boot and a cold boot. First let me sign off the AS400 here, and we'll demonstrate that. Something wasn't going right, let me do a warm boot first. To warm boot, you press and hold the power button, which is on top of the device, for 5 seconds. And you'll notice the screen will reach a point where it says, it goes black, and it's warm booting. We'll let it finish warm booting, and then I'll demonstrate a cold boot. Do the warm boot first. If it doesn't solve your problem, like maybe the scanner's not initializing or things aren't working the way you expect, do a cold boot. A cold boot's a little more difficult, especially if you have the device on. You got to press the power and 1 and 9 all at the same time. I think I can manage it though. You'll notice the lights will blink, and it'll go through a little bit longer sequence of rebooting the device. And that's a cold boot. Once the device is cold booted, the first thing you're going to see is this calibration for the touch screen. And it's pretty simple. All you do is try to touch your cursor to the middle of the arrow and follow it as it walks around the screen. The more time you take doing it, the better the screen is going to be calibrated for your touches later. So do take your time on that. Then it's going to boot back up and your cold boot will have completed. You'll notice I'm right-handed. Not everyone is. Let me show you how Southpaws use the device. You can convert it to left-hand use by taking the straps off of the device. I'm not going to take them fully off, but you're going to want to take them off and swap them because one strap is longer than the other for the meatier part of your forearm. Let's just imagine I've done that, and let me demonstrate how to reorient the scanning device. It swings 180 degrees from one side to the other, and it won't go any further. So if it doesn't turn, don't force it, go the other direction. I think I've got that the right orientation now for left-handed use. There's a red button you'll notice on the underside of the cord. Just press on it, pull the plug out of the other side and move it over. Plug the scanner in on the opposite side of the device, and now it's a lefty. Now this little plug right here is pretty important because it's covering some sensitive electronic sensors for that scanner to plug into. If you lose that plug, dust is going to get in there and it's going to cause problems for the device. So don't lose that plug when you swap it. And do plug it in good and firm so it doesn't come back out. I started out in the warehouse 20 years ago, and I know BWI warehouses are kind of dusty. The dust is going to get on your device and on the glass. And you might think, man, I'm having trouble seeing, or that's not scanning real good. Let me wipe that on my shirt. Dude, that dust is on your shirt. When you wipe it on your shirt, you're scratching up the glass. The laser's not going to emit very well, and it's not going to read. So, when you reach a point where your screen or the scanner is dirty, blow it off, get some alcohol-based cleaner like Windex, spray a little bit on a paper towel and wipe those off like that. The rest of the device, you can just dust it off. You don't have to get any cleaners or grease remover or 409 or anything like that to clean it off. Just dust it off with a paper towel and you should be good to go. At the end of your shift, you're going to want to dock your gun so it can be charging for the next guy to use it. First, remove the device from your arm. And then take it off of the arm unit, I don't know what to call that, the arm band, by pulling down so those two notches are revealed and sliding it away like that. You can dock the gun with the scanner. It's fine if you do. Just place it on the cradle. You'll notice there's a couple of grooves on each side that slide in to a groove there. Oh, and make sure you don't have paper clips, staples, or other metal things hanging around here, or else you'll short your device out. It just slides right down on there, real simple. And you know you got it on there right. When the amber light flashes, that means, hey, I'm charging. If it flashes really fast, that means it's not seated well. And if it lights and stays solid, that means I'm charged up. There's also a handy battery charger on the front of this style dock. The ridge right there slides into the hole there, and it just snaps down into place like that. If you have one of the larger docks like you see here, it's similar. The device just slides right down on the groove. And if you have a four-port battery charger, same thing. Groove slides in the hole, battery snaps down into place, and it comes right out. Removing a battery from a phone is a little bit different in that there's a release button on the side. You just press that button and the battery comes right out. Put it back in, Slide that notch right there, the lower notch, and snap it into place.